Welcome to the We Got Notes podcast, hosted by your cinema connoisseurs. That includes myself, Sean, that's Shawn Edwards, and my girl, Fania Thomas. Now, check this out. This is the only spot with I'm talking about two certified film critics in the building, offering uninhibited and jocular chats about film and television.
Hey, that's right, Sean. Each month, we'll bring you stories from sets, tales from behind the scenes, and movie reviews, plus some TV thoughts from the latest releases. Because we got notes. So chill out, grab a snack, and vibe with us. And if you got notes, let us know. Drop them in the comments. We might read some.
Welcome back. Episode 2 of We Got Notes. We're going to talk about Anora, Sean's favorite film.
I'm so glad this show is called We Got Notes because I got a lot of notes. I got so many notes on this film. So many notes. Like my thing is, and I say this repeatedly because I really want people to know and understand who I am and what my approach to cinema and film criticism is all about. I will say this over and over again. I like going into a movie naked. I don't really want to know anything about it. And unfortunately, I was unable to do that with Anora. I heard so much about this film before I finally got a chance to see it. I heard so much. I'll leave it at that and let you take over.
I agree with you because I feel like sometimes when you hear other people's thoughts or opinions, sometimes it does cloud your judgment in your mind when you're going to experience art, right? Cinema is somebody's art, and art has, once you give it away, it's out there for people to interpret as such. A little background about the film. Neon, it's out now. I believe it's out in most city states. It's an American film, and they're calling it a romantic comedy drama. The director is Sean Baker, who is known for his marginalized films about immigrants and sex workers.
He's got a good track record. There's no doubt about that. He's got a great track record. He really does.
He does. And again, just because you create something great once does not mean you're going to do it again. It does mean that you're really good at it, but not everybody can Kobe Bryant the situation. We've got
hey, LA girl. All right.
Born and raised.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm stuck in Kansas City, Missouri. There's no NBA team here. We haven't had one since the Kings left to go to Sacramento. I'm not happy about that. So I've been unhappy for a really long time. That happened in the 80s.
One day we'll unpack all of that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. We don't have no NBA team. Like, really? Are you a real city without an NBA team? That is a topic for another show.
Some would say you're not, but that's okay.
I would say that as well. You're not. But anyway, maybe we can snag one of those expansion WNBA teams. I hear Patrick Mahomes is trying to get one.
Hey, Anora is a film that follows, it follows two main characters, but for me, one of the supporting characters was really, really outstanding. I like a gentle goon. And Yura, I'm totally going to butcher his last name, Borisov,
The dude with the short haircut.
Right. He is a gentle goon, and he played his character so well. He gets an applause from me. He is the best part of this film to me. They're labeling this a comedy. I don't think it's funny. I think it's just silly. I think the soft porn aspect of it all runs on way too long. And maybe I'm not the demographic for that, which is totally fine. I know will be a lot of adolescents that will really enjoy the scenes. I think they did that because they wanted the viewers to kind of be relaxed. So you're kind of like, oh, because it takes a while for the story. Yeah, I feel like the soft porn ran on for so long because you wanted people to forget, like, why you're there and what you're watching and just get comfortable and just like, oh, okay. Because it takes a long time for there to be like a developed reason as to like, wait, what? Like, what's going on? And then it gave me, this is going to date me, but I don't know if you guys remember 1995 Kids with Rosario Dawson.
Of course, a great movie.
Great movie. So in the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is giving me some like kids vibes. It's giving P Valley, but P Valley had better stripper scenes. You know, I'm like, okay, people will like the arousal appeal of this film. But I was just sitting there like, if I have to watch him jackrabbit her one more time and without any like elevated angle, the film doesn't need to be more than 2 hours. It could be less. The acting was, you know, okay. You know, it was, you know, it was just mid, you know, aside from Yora, and totally forgive me if I'm mispronouncing his name. Yeah, I just thought it was just like, oh, okay, you know, maybe the comedy part is like, what is it, Mark Edelstein's character, where he's, you know, kind of being silly and goofy. You know, you can take the sex worker out of the club, but you can't take the sex worker out of the person. By the end of the film, I was still unsure what her goal was, you know, like what part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs did she need? Like, what is like,
It's
what,
you're
what,
not wrong. Keep going. Keep going. I'm enjoying this.
I
You
mean,
haven't been
so many
wrong yet.
notes.
Yes, you have not been wrong yet.
So
Just
many notes.
let it go.
I mean, the setting was cool. I did like, you know, the New York vibe. It was kind of like, you know, 80s, 90-ish. That was cool. You know, the score was pretty much lacking. Cinematically, you know, the angles were blah, except for the end, actually, where there was this beautiful, majestic, snowy woods, elevated, you know, window scene. That was really cool. I don't know why they waited so long
No, no,
to
applause
deliver
to the
that.
second unit. Applause to the second unit for that one.
Yeah. Again, the script was simple, like, and pun intended, there was no climax. Like, there, like, I was
Wow, look at
waiting and
this.
waiting. I was like, oh, wait.
You are literally on here flowing like Nas. Like you got bars for this movie.
And I honestly, there was a moment where I was like, yo, maybe they should have like hit up JF Lawton to help them write the script.
Ooh, wow,
Like,
look at you.
you know, for you know, the people that may or may not know, he wrote Pretty Woman. Outstanding film that is still talked about today. People still dress up as her. Words from scenes are still quoted and used. No one will be talking about this film after a year or two. In my opinion, this is my opinion. These are my notes. The scene with the priest leaving the christening, okay, that was funny. Now that maybe that's part of the comedy aspect of it, but Yura carried the film for me.
Wow, you
That's all
really
I
like
have.
that guy. All right. So the show is called We Got Notes. Very
Yeah.
important to understand the title of the show. My notes for this film are simple. It didn't need to ever exist.
Oh, shots fired.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, come on. Sean Baker, he's definitely a gifted filmmaker. You know, you're not going to take anything away from that brother, but I need to have a conversation with men, particularly men filmmakers. Can we stop with the stripper, prostitute, Cinderella stories? Because it don't work like that in real life. Like I'm tired of the stripper, prostitute, Cinderella stories. And if you are going to tackle that narrative, can we at least pretend to just be a little bit authentic and realistic about what sex work is, what people who participate in sex work go through? These fictitious portrayals of strip clubs and behind closed doors of the strip clubs and the interaction that strippers and prostitutes have with clients being some glamorous escapism thing is not real.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't believe what I'm saying, go talk to any vice squad in any city, in any country in the world. It's ugly work, it's demeaning work, it's brutal work. And typically for the participants of sex work, it never ends well. So to create these like highly fantasized illusions of grandeur, it's just it's annoying at this point because like you mentioned earlier, we've seen this story. We've seen these types of stories before. And I don't know why men have this fixation on I'm gonna go to the strip club and the young lady who I buy a dance from falls in love with me and we potentially can live happily ever after. I mean, that's all BS. And that's what this movie is. This movie's BS. There was really no plot. Like I mean, there is a plot, but it's not a very strong plot. It's not a very good plot. I mean, and the thing about the lead character played by Mickey Madison, she does an okay job. I mean, but she can only work with what she gets with the script. But her character is too vague.
Yeah.
Like she existed in this total vacuum where there's no interaction with friends or parents or family members or anybody. So you're telling me you did meet the man of your dreams. You escaped from the strip club, but you don't let anybody know that you're married or you've changed locations or moved into a new house or done this or done that or let anybody know about your new whereabouts. Like you got to give me at least a little bit of a backstory of like how did she end up, in this type of industry. She seems the way the characters portray, she seems to be very smart and very cunning. So why did she forego junior college to become a stripper? Or why did things not pan out for her better? Why is she not on the track to become some CEO if she's all this smart and intelligent? Like what happened? What led to this? And then the explanation of the son of a Russian oligarch is not explained either. It's just like I get it. You like, oh yeah, he's young, he's rich. He meets a girl in the strip club. They're gonna get together and have a lot of sex and have a lot of fun. Well, that doesn't make for a great story.
No, that's so bland and basic.
Well, it's you got like you have to give me some context. And then, they go on and on about, her name. She don't call me this, call me that. But why? Like what are the whys? What are the hows? Like give me so I can have a full understanding. I'm also not a big fan of movies in which I don't like any of the characters. Like
You didn't like Yura?
that was he, that
You didn't like
character,
the gentle goon?
he was like a side chick. Nobody cares about the side chick. Like, no, I got to be invested in the main characters, though. You can't be invested in a movie when you don't care what happens. I didn't care what happened to her. I didn't care what happened to him. Did you care?
No, no, you're spot on. Like her character was very one dimensional. Mickey did fine, but her character was one dimensional. Like you said, talk about why is her mom in Florida? I thought for sure they would take us down there. We would discover that. When she kept pushing him about meeting his parents, I don't know if that was a sister or a cousin or an aunt that she lived with, and why she had to buy the milk. Like I'm unsure. There were so many things that they could have addressed, but they wasted time on all the jackrabbiting. Like there was just so much opportunity that wasn't taken.
We do need to address why so many, particularly male filmmakers, want to tell this story. I want to see this story from the woman's perspective. Like, why do
Ooh.
men tell this story so many times? Like, over and over and over again. Can we get the female perspective of this? Because I think would be a completely different thing. It would be a 180, I do believe.
I
Like,
agree.
I don't get why men want to tell this story. And I don't
That's
get
a
why men should be allowed to tell this story.
that is a really good um request. I support it. I stand by it. As you were
Well,
saying
because
that,
it's
I
about
was,
her. The movie's her POV.
yeah, there is a film. As you were saying that, I was like, let me Google that to see if there has ever been a female written, directed, produced, have not, what have you, film about
I
sex
was looking
workers.
at, yeah, I was looking at up. This movie has annoyed me since I saw it, and it's been a couple weeks now, and I've been trying to do some research about that myself, and just try to find something where you get this whole world of the sex worker told from the female POV, from a female writer and a female director, and I think there's a couple of smaller things, but nothing
Yeah,
major.
I don't see anything from an American. There's an
Yeah.
Austrian Iranian
Exactly,
filmmaker
exactly.
who
I just have a problem. This whole, turn the stripper, turn the prostitute into the housewife, into the love of your life thing. It really bothers me. And I know you gave high praise to Pretty Woman. I have problems with Pretty Woman too. I mean, Julia Roberts was the only streetwalker in the history of streetwalking that wasn't addicted to drugs and had all of her teeth. So I'm just. She wasn't a call girl. She was a streetwalker.
but she was new. Remember, she just got there. She hadn't been doing it for years.
I know, but still, when you know when you starting for a reason. You starting because you in a bad place. You just don't be like, you just don't wake up one day and be like, I watched SNL last night. I'm bored because today's Sunday. Let me start streetwalking.
Oh, so there's levels of street walking. Like you want to
Yes, there
see like
are.
the
Yes, they are. There are extreme levels to street walking. Once again, like I said, go talk to Vice in any city, in any country in the world. There's major levels to street walking, prostitution, and even stripping, which is what I want to see. Like I'm tired of this Hollywood fictionalized version of that. Like it's like, and then people are talking about Anora, Best Picture, Mickey Madison, Best Actress.
stop.
We wasn't out here talking about Ice Cube getting the Oscar for Players Club.
No. And that was great. Again, a film that has been talked about and has withstood the test of time. People quote that film to this
That's
day.
what I'm saying. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, Nora!" No, like, no, come on. Ice Cube did this like what now? 25 years ago?
1998, and people
Yes.
still talk about the film.
Yeah. So where's Ice Cube's Oscar?
I mean, with
Like,
Jamie
I'm
Foxx,
just
Lisa Ray, Bernie Mac, Terrence
it's
Howard. Like, come on.
great movie. It's a great movie.
Right.
That's the thing about film criticism. The world of film criticism, it needs more voices and more perspective because when you start talking about greatest movies of all time, it depends on who's creating the list. And if I'm creating a list, I got Players Club on the list. I'm never putting a Nora on nobody's list of greatness. I'm just not. I didn't enjoy the movie I didn't enjoy the movie at all. I felt bad. I did like Mickey Madison as an actress, like a little bit. But like I said, she can only work with what she had. I didn't think the script was great at all.
No, the script is basura.
Yeah, and there was nothing memorable happen in the movie.
No,
Like if Mickey Madison gets nominated for Best Actress, what clip are they showing at the Academy Awards?
there was nothing best about the acting.
That's what I'm saying. What clip are you showing? What scene? And another thing that annoys me, and I'm going to take it there. And if people get upset, they just have to get upset. I also don't like the fact that when Hollywood tells these stories, when the stripper and the prostitute is white, it's a cool fairy tale love story. But when blacks and Hispanics and Asians are strippers and prostitutes, they're demonized.
Ooh, come on now. Talk about it.
It's true. It's true. It's so true. And then they're talking about, yo, Mickey Madison, she deserves an Oscar. So you're really gonna nominate this girl for playing a stripper in a subpar performance, but Danielle Deadweiler, who was Emmett Till's mom in a movie that was much better than this, and a performance that was much better than hers, about something way more important in terms of American history and the worldview perspective of the Black experience, and she can't even get nominated. Are you serious right now?
That is a very important note.
Like, I'm just saying, we got like Viola Davis. Like, Viola Davis did everything that men have done in the past to win an Oscar. She transformed her body. She played an important historical figure in a story that had never been told before. The Woman King was an exceptional movie. And
You
she
have
couldn't even get
points.
nominated. She didn't even get I didn't say she didn't win. She didn't even get nominated. But we got this little child in this subpar performance in this whack movie talking about Oscar. Come stop. You got to make it make sense. I'm sorry. I know that the people that primarily vote for this stuff are not your demographic or my demographic. So I get it. I get it. That's why Emma Stone has 2 Oscars and won an Oscar for being in a musical where she could neither sing nor dance.
Ooh.
I get it. I get it. I get
This is
it. It needs to be more people who have seen the Players Club. And then you're like, nah, this film ain't working. Or even watch P Valley. If you watch P Valley, you're like, nah, come on, man. This is coming up a little show.
this is
Like,
so short. And P Valley is of this year. So you have a source of reference.
yeah, I was like, this movie's not even better than Hustlers.
Ooh, Hustlers.
Like, I know you say J-Lo, people, it's 50-50. We love her, we hate her, but the movie's not better than Hustlers. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not. It's not better than Hustlers. It's not.
Well,
It's
that's a
not.
no. So listen here. So a while back ago, I said I was going to put a pin in something. So I'm going to take that pin out and I'm going to ask you, is this a movie that needs to be watched in a theater? Is this a movie that people need to leave their house, get in their car, drive their good gas to a theater and pay their good hard-earned coins for a ticket, maybe a beverage, maybe a little snack, maybe parking, depending on where you're at, to watch Anora?
Well, you already know how I feel. I don't think anybody should ever watch this movie. I think you're better off using that gas money and using that extra money to go to the grocery store and buy some produce so you're living healthy.
So all films should not. Okay, so actually, you're not even okay. You're taking this off the table completely because you said all films should be watched in the theater. You're saying this shouldn't even be watched at all.
No, because I don't like it. I'm
Damn.
sorry. Yeah, that's where I'm contradicting I'm contradicting being a film snob because, and well, hold on. I like being honest. I don't ever want to lie to the people. I mean, I've been a film critic for 25 years because I don't lie to the people. Let me take it back. Every movie should be seen. I just have extra hatred for this film because so many people jumped on the bandwagon and really painted this picture that it was something that it's not. And there's so many people giving this movie accolades that, in my opinion, aren't deserved. I don't feel that this is a Best Picture contender. I think she should be nominated for Best Actress, and he should be nominated for Director at all. So some of my bitterness is towards that. So let me take it back and say, if you want to see it, it's up to go. It's your car, it's your money, it's your Metro bus pass, your subway bus, however you get to movies. That's on you. If you want to buy popcorn or red vines and a big old thing of Sprite, that's on you. Hopefully you don't have diabetes down the road. That's on you. Do you, boo? Hey, do what you got to do. I'm just never, ever, 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 to quote the great Andre 3000, watching this movie again.
Ever.
Ever, ever, ever. I'm not watching no fake stripper movie with no plot and strong storyline with characters I didn't care about. I'm not doing it. And the whole fact that it's dealing with this Russian family made me uneasy just to drip in a little bit of political stuff into it.
Oh, I quite liked the mother, actually. I quite liked her directness. I liked her shrewdness. I liked how she was laughing. I liked the father. The father delivered one of the comedic scenes that I enjoyed of the 3 that were a part of the film.
The mother looked mad familiar. And when the mother first popped on screen, I gasped because I actually thought it was a woman that I dated before. I am not lying.
That would be shocking.
If you scroll through my Facebook back to around 2008, she was just like, I actually dated this woman. We went to the Critics' Choice Awards together, so it's documented.
Oh shoot. Okay, what's the mom's name? Let's find out who the mom is. Yeah, I mean, you just gave it. Now we have to. We have to see who the mom is now.
I'm just trying to like personalize the podcast so people know little tidbits about me. That way, when I, give my viewpoints about certain films, they see where I'm coming from. As we go through each episode, I'll drop little personal nuggets because I'm at the age now where I don't care. That takes me back to Anora because they're like this girl. They're like this Mickey Madison should be nominated, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I just want to borrow their eyes while they're watching the same movie. Because I want to see what they see. I really
Maybe not.
do.
Maybe it's best not. Maybe let's just leave them there.
I just want to see what I really want to see what they see, especially with this film. I don't get it.
Well, how about
But
this? If they have notes, leave them down below. Let us know. Like if you
yeah,
have
please,
notes,
yeah, leave
send
us
us.
notes. Leave
Yeah.
us notes. You can be like, we don't like the guy that talks too much. We like the cool woman from LA. I have very thick skin. Like I said, I've been doing this on television for 25 years in Kansas City, Missouri. Imagine that. I've heard it all.
How many claps are you giving
Anora. I'm not clapping at all. I'm not clapping. I'm sorry. I know this show is new and young. I can't clap. I'm not clap. I'm one clap. One clap. One clap.
I'm gonna give Anora 2 claps.
Okay.
For Yura. I love a gentle goon. I do.
He was okay. He had the strongest character arc, believe it or not, and he's not even a title character. He did have the strongest character arc.
He did.
And you didn't see it coming. He had the strongest character arc. He really did.
A sex worker film with no climax. Wow.
Oof, that's great. They should put that on the poster. Put on the TV commercial. A sex worker film with no climax. 2 claps for Nia Thomas. EUR Web.
That's my reaction.
No more ad buys for EUR Web from Neon.
As if they had ever trickled any of that marketing ad budget down to our small Black-owned business. But
we should have like a little buzzer so that every time we say something that needs to be a future show, we go. That's a show, man.
That's a topic for another day and another episode. Because wow,
people need to. I think that'd be cool because I think people need to understand, particularly your journey as a Black woman on this side of the industry. They need to understand the journey and the struggle and how this all plays out without us offending the players in the game. Anora, not for either one of us. Sorry about that, folks. No, check it out if you dare or if you want to. The stripper story, we need the female POV. That's all I'm gonna say. We need the female POV.
Yeah, just stream it. And you know what? Honestly, I would feel more comfortable streaming this film in the privacy of my home. I'm not gonna lie, full transparency. When I walked into the theater and there was like one guy in the back and his like, yes, the seats reclined. And I was kind of like, oh, like, why is your seat reclined? Like, which I know that like people like to watch movies with their seat reclined, but because it was this type of movie, I felt like there should be a red light on and like it should be paid by the minute. And I was like, is the floor going to be sticky for other reasons? Like I did have the thought came across my mind. That's all I'm going to say.
I can't watch any movie in the reclined position because I will be dead ass sleep.
Same.
I can't. I'm not even. I sit straight up. I will be. I'm not even gonna lie. If I recline like a quarter of an inch, it's out. I'm out.
This is entertainment. We're not doing brain surgery. We're not doing heart surgery. We're just here to have fun.
We're not? Yeah, it's fun. And the bottom line is we don't make any of these movies. We just watch them. Now, when we make a movie, we'll open it up to your criticism. But right now, we just watch them. We don't make them, so don't take it personally. And we don't know any of the people involved in any of these projects unless it's Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart knows everybody.
Doesn't he? Wow.
I've never met anybody like he knows everybody's name. I'm like, is he a robot? Like, how do you remember everybody's name? Like, he remembers like just miscellaneous people's names. I'm like, man, you're amazing. Like,
that is amazing.
That
Do
is
you think there's like a
amazing.
publicist or a manager like giving him a rundown, like in
No, I've caught Kevin just out when he wasn't on like promoting game and still same dude. So I don't know. Maybe that's just him. Maybe he's got a high IQ, man. I don't know.
that's
He's just
dope.
that
That's
is. Yeah,
dope.
I
One day
love
I'll
Kevin
have to
Hart.
show you one of my first interviews ever, and it was with an
Ooh.
unknown Kevin Hart who did a comedy tour at my college.
This was before Soul Plane?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
And the footage will look like it.
I did the Soul Plane. See, we're getting off topic, but this is fun though. But I remember I did the Soul Plane junket, and man, that's old school back in the day movie marketing. It was so much
Mm,
fun. It was,
that was,
it was,
uh,
it was so much fun. All right, as you can see, we always got notes and we have lots of notes, but we appreciate y'all for chilling with us, sticking with us. And if you got notes, let us know and check back in next week for our notes on all, and I mean all the latest releases.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the We Got Notes podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts.